Okay, Miss McWilliams, think you can describe the man who took your purse?
In my own words.
That'd be fine.
Well, I saw a sadness in his eyes.
Okay.
And I think that there will always be that sadness until we, society, can learn to rehabilitate our hardened criminals, imbuing upon them a sense of dignity and purpose, so that they too may take their rightful place here in this, our great land of opportunity. Thank you.
You're in town for a beauty contest, aren't you?
How did you ever know?
Oh, just a wild guess.
It's the Miss New York State Thruway competition. I was 4th runner-up.
Good morning.
Hi,
Good morning.
Anything going on?
Another work stoppage in Poland.
Seems to be catching.
Actually, I'm not entirely convinced that the Solidarity movement's accomplishing anything.
What?
Outside of playing right into the hands of the Russians.
Oh, come on. I mean, I can't see where the facts justify that conclusion.
Oh, really?
Now, they have gained quite a few concessions from the government.
What concessions?
Well, I mean, the existence of the union itself. Not to mention greater freedom of speech, assembly, access to the media, religion.
They're going to eat that stuff? Polish economy's in a state of collapse.
That's all very true.
The point is, if they continue to aggravate the situation with strikes and slow down, they're probably going to have bread riots in the streets. And the Russians will be more than happy to roll in the tanks to restore order, just like they did in Czechoslovakia and Hungary.
I got hit with a paternity suit.
What? Haven't you people suffered enough?
When did this happen?
Last night, I was sitting in my apartment, alone, watching a Rangers game. And some guy knocks on the door and tells me my pizza's here.
Processor.
And he hands me that and says, "Here you go, Pops, one summons with everything on it." Takes off.
Maureen Elizabeth Ballantyne, being duly sworn, deposes and says, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. On or about the 28th day of January, 1981, I had sexual intercourse with Stanley Tadeusz Wojciechowicz.
I never tell anybody my middle name.
On the 21st day of October 1981, I gave birth to a male child, Christopher Winston Wojciechowicz. Plaintiff requests that the court declare Stanley Tadeusz Wojciechowicz father of said child, award to the plaintiff payment, support, etc., etc.
So, you got any idea who she is? It was snowing real hard, and I just went inside to get warm, and I saw Maureen. She's giving some old lady a manicure, you know, so... Next thing I know, she's got a kid.
I see.
Come on, Barn, I know what you're thinking. Mr. Macho, right?
Hey, look,
Swaggers around, hopping in bed with anything that's still got a pulse.
Wojo.
Of course, the minute I might have to accept some responsibility for my actions and give a kid a father, then I run and hide behind some sleazeball attorney begging him to get me off the hook.
Can I have my desk back?
Fine. I didn't come in here for a lecture.
Movies about violence. Movies about sex.
Mr. Frayne, this is not the movies. We're in the real world now.
Don't you people understand? They are corrupting the human soul. They are poisoning our spirit, making us reek of blood and sinew like some flesh-eating Neanderthal.
Milk that?
No. No.
Empty apartments.
All right, what do we got here?
Barney, that's Arthur Frayne. We picked him up in the projection booth over at the Tivoli.
Now, the projection booth wasn't locked.
We got there, Mr. Frayne had already laid out the projectionist. He was in the process of ripping the film into pieces of confetti, tossing them to the audience.
Apparently, Mr. Frayne took exception to some of the explicit mutilations and gore that were being portrayed in the film in question.
Arbor Day. The name of the film is Arbor Day. And it starts off real nice. A bunch of cute Cub Scouts camping in the woods, and they're singing their songs, and they're planting trees. And before you know it, somebody starts killing them off. One kid takes a sapling right through the brain. Another kid gets split down the middle like a log so that some maniac can come along and grind him up into mulch and use them as fertilizer.
Park Ranger, right?
They trusted that man.
Mr. Frayne, you want to have a seat over there, Sergeant?
And the audience changed during the movie. They were sitting there and they got wild-eyed and they were in the armrests and they were behaving as if that widescreen horror and carnage isn't stopped, then somebody is really gonna snap and do something crazy.
Like you.
See?
Down in front.
Mail call. Here you go, Sergeant Harris. Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes time.
Oh, goody.
Sergeant Dietrich.
Thanks, Carl.
Sir? Got your manpower reports.
Oh.
Interdepartmental communiques.
Thank you.
And, of course, your mail.
Thank you, Levitt.
My pleasure, sir. Sir, is it true that Sergeant Wojciechowicz is going to be a father?
Well,
I didn't know he'd ever been married.
he has that.
And what happened?
An unfortunate accident.
Oh, I see.
Let it rest, huh?
Suppose then a gift wouldn't be in order.
Right.
Right. What a shame. I was passing by this little toy store and I picked up this little rabbit.
Hey, Woj.
How you doing, Harris?
Hey, Woj.
Dietrich? Would you? What the hell's that for?
Oh, no, that's, Well, what happened?
It's not my kid.
Congratulations.
I'm sterile.
Sterile? You?
Yeah, me.
But you're so big. You know what I mean?
That's got nothing to do with it. Forget it.
Lucky I kept the receipt.
Coffee's fresh.
Sure, change the subject.
So what'd they say?
Well, they gave me all their tests, and then the next thing I know, the doctor's saying, sorry about this, pal, but your spermatozoons are dead. See, they're supposed to wiggle. Mine just sort of lay there like a bunch of string.
Woj, man, look, maybe the condition's just temporary.
Yeah. No, the doctor said it was irreversible. I'm a damn eunuch. Not really. I know what I feel.
Well, look, man, maybe you should at least get a second opinion.
Maybe I should get a job guarding a harem.
Plenty of openings.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, I'm Victor Lupton. I own the Tivoli Theater.
Oh, right.
Yes, I'm here to press charges against Mr.
Frayne.
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 Him?
Him.
You? What are you, some kind of a maniac? What? You don't recognize me? I'm the guy who sold you your ticket. Who put that extra buttery flavored oil on your popcorn. No charge. Got you that nice seat on the aisle, away from the family with the turbans. So, what do I get for my consideration? An unconscious projectionist? A ruined print? 200 animals stampeding through my lobby, screaming for their money back?
The whole movie was pandering to the dankest recesses of the human mind.
It was almost over.
Would you just take a seat down here, please? I need to get a little information from you.
Get inside, Barney.
Hey, come on, give me a chance to catch my breath, will you?
Get inside!
Thanks.
What's going on? This is Joseph Banning. He's trying to rip off a bunch of cassette players. You know, like the joggers wear.
He's hiding behind a bunch of crates waving this baby at us. Says if we don't get the hell out, he's going to blow us away.
An idle threat. Do that.
We're about to call for some backup when the Wojo Express comes whizzing by.
Should have seen this guy. Grabs one of those trash dumpster things like it was nothing. He comes barreling at me like a tank. And before I had a chance to surrender, he smashes into those crates like a battering ram.
Really?
I had a shotgun in there. Does that mean anything anymore?
Apparently not. Hook him. Wojo?
I'm going.
Excuse me.
Charging into a situation like that half-cocked, no backup, no vest, improperly armed. Could have got yourself killed. And you could have taken Dietrich with you.
I'll never have a kid to yell at.
Okay, Mr. Lupton. I'd like you to just look over your complaint, and then you can sign it right there.
With pleasure.
Go ahead, sign it. Lock me up. Put me on death row.
What do you want from me? A refund?
I want you to run some decent movies, for God's sake. Where's your sense of taste?
Taste? Taste? You're yelling at me about taste? Where were you when I played Dodsworth? Huh? Paths of Glory? African Queen? You weren't in my theater. Nobody was in my theater until I started playing trash like Arbor Day, Hotel Hacksaw, Mermaids from Hell.
Disgusting. Every one of them.
You saw them all. Woodrow, when the time comes that you decide you want to have a child, there are ways.
How?
Foster parenthood, adoption.
But they're never little babies. Most of them are almost 30.
Artificial insemination.
I don't want an artificial kid. So anyway, what if he's ugly? Or stupid? Woj. Or a communist or something?
Come on, Woj.
How do you know?
By selecting a suitable donor. You pick someone whose physical and mental characteristics you admire, so that those same qualities will be reflected in your own child.
So, for instance, if I were to come to you...
No. Appreciate the thought.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Barn, Mr. Lupton is here from the Tivoli.
Yeah?
He's vacillating.
I'll talk to him.
Hey, Woj. Everything okay?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Anything I can do?
think about it.
I really don't enjoy sending people to jail, Captain. And, I suppose I'm as much to blame as he is.
It's very understanding of you, Mr. Lupton.
But it's going to cost me $600 to replace that print.
And if Mr. Frayne agreed to pay for it?
I don't have that kind of money. I teach accordion.
They ought to make him work it off. I haven't had an usher since my wife died.
Mr. Frayne, you think you might prefer the theater to Rikers Island?
Maybe. What's playing?
How do I know? You'll probably find a print of Stella Dallas in the basement.
Oh, God. My mother made me watch that once. I hated it.
Mr. Frayne!
Okay.
You'll arrange with Mr. Lupton to satisfy all damages?
Yes.
All right, Harris, turn him loose.
Hi.
Is it okay if I use your men's room? I just like to wash up.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Wendy.
I'm Stan.
Well, I'd just like you to know that I think you're taking this very well, Stan.
Thank you.
Oh, Miss McWilliams, you're still here.
Yes, well, I looked through all the books, but I just couldn't find anybody.
Oh, Harris?
Got everything, Barn.
Well, thank you for your cooperation. I'm afraid there's nothing more we can do.
You mean I have to leave?
We all do.
But, well, you never found my purse, and I don't have any money or my bus ticket back to Middle Falls.
Well, I'm sorry, but...
But I thought the police were supposed to help people.
We are, we do.
Well, you wouldn't treat me this way if I were Miss America.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something I can do.
Yeah, fine, sure.
Now, look, Wendy, he's telling you the truth. There is not much that we can do here.
But Stan,
Wait.
Gentlemen,
I was just leaving.
what's his last?
did I do that?
No. Well, you've been here all day. You're probably hungry. So, why don't we go get something to eat, and then we can figure out how to get you home tomorrow.
But I don't have any place to stay tonight.
Well, we'll figure out something. Let me get my coat.
Gee, it's awfully nice of you to go out of your way like this, just for me.
It's okay.
Well, what I mean is, considering everything you must have on your mind.
Well, there ain't much I can do about it.
Well, maybe we could figure that out, too.
Okay.
Look, I know we used to have business lunches in the past, but there's a new policy now.
No, it's the same captain. And I can't use the phone anymore either. Goodbye, Alan.
Harris.
Barney, I was talking to my agent and I admit it freely.
Harris.
It's only 2 minutes to 9. I charged it to my home phone. And these are the crime statistics you asked for.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Yes. It is now 2 days since I forced you to miss that meeting, and I think it's about time we sat down, man to man.
Whoops. On duty.
Stay inside, Mr. Hillier.
Is this where I get that shirt? You know, the one with the numbers on it?
No, that's prison. It's later.
I was just asking.
Barn. Yeah. This is Joseph Hillier. So on my way in this morning, I found him chasing a bunch of Japanese tourists. He's trying to spray them with this can of windshield deicer.
Those people were acting like they never saw a real car before.
What car?
My DeSoto. They were violating it. I mean, I went into Ed's Auto Supply store for 2 seconds to buy a can of carnauba wax and a case of those little pine trees. And the next thing I know, they're hanging all over my car, sitting on the hood, posing for pictures, kicking the white walls, fondling the fins. Is that any way to treat a 57 Fireflight?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, when I tried to calm him down, he took a swipe at me.
You trying to hit him?
Well, I didn't know that he was a cop. He looks like a typical chrome smudger.
There you go.
No, wait, we're not done. See, the car isn't his.
Oh?
Yeah, the minute I showed him my badge, he blurts out that he stole it.
Oh.
You would have found out anyway.
Maybe. Car thief, huh?
Oh, no. It was a crazy impulse. Look, times were tough for me. I was just out of the service. I didn't have a job. No future. I was depressed about Sputnik. The DeSoto represented everything I ever wanted. Everything I couldn't have.
Exactly when did you steal this car?
October 6th, 1957.
That's almost 25 years ago.
But that car looks as good today as it did the day that I stole it.
No, it's true. He let me drive it down here. It handles great.
It's beautiful.
Well, remember to put that in your report.
Thank you.
You want me to check with the DA's office about statute of limitations?
He only hit you 10 minutes ago.
Park it right there.
It's funny.
Patton? Yeah. How was this pass? We got a cop in trouble, Washington Square. Maybe some shots fired.
Okay, that's everybody. Break out some weapons. Put them in the cage.
Yeah, in the cage.
I just sat down.
In the cage. Harris.
I just finished my filing, Barney.
Fine.
All right, got him. Let's go.
All right, no heroics. I don't want anybody getting hurt.
Let's ride.
Whose car are they taking?
Yeah, try and do something different.
I know somebody can get hurt, but...
Sir, you're crawling.
I'm afraid we're a little short-handed now.
I'm available.
Look, if you give me a minute, maybe I can find out if there's a squad car in the neighborhood.
Sir, I'll take it.
As a matter of fact, I do have someone. Yes, he'll be right over. You're quite welcome.
What's the case, sir?
Construction site over on Amsterdam. Some kids climbing all over the equipment. You gotta chase them off.
That's it?
Afraid so?
Oh. Wouldn't you send a squad car for that?
I was going to.
Of course. Well, perhaps we can take on the little heathens together, sir.
Goodbye, lady.
I get the picture, sir. Save some for the guys.
Come on, Sladek, get inside here.
Hey, look, if you don't respect the man, at least respect the uniform.
What the hell's going on here?
You tell me.
Barney, this is our cop in trouble.
What? These two guys answer to you.
Yes, I'm Captain Miller.
Officer Earl Sladek, Sanitation Police.
Oh.
I think your boys here made a little mistake.
No, we didn't.
What happened?
Well, when we got to the park, Officer Earl here was prodding a Mr. Anthony Paglia with his nightstick, forcing him to crawl around on the ground and pick up assorted cigarette butts and candy wrappers.
That slob threw a Snickers bar down on the grass, and I made him get down there with it.
Just ask him to pick it up?
I tried that. I identified myself as a sanitation officer, and he laughed at me and just kept walking.
That's when Mr. Sladek told him to freeze, fired 2 warning shots in the air.
Warning shots?
Well, you don't make a mess on my beat and just walk away.
Anyway, Mr. Paglia signed a complaint right on the spot and then mentioned something about moving to Maine.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Officer Sladek, are you aware that you've opened yourself to charges of harassment, coercion, probably reckless endangerment?
Look, you got your laws to enforce, and I got mine. I mean, we all want clean sidewalks, right? Unclogged drains, trash packed neatly in cans, metal cans with lids on tight so that the stinking sewer rats aren't swarming all over this city, living off our filth.
That's hardly a reason to shoot at somebody for littering.
Haven't you been listening?
Dietrich, get a statement.
What? You're not going to book me, are you?
Yes.
We're all cops. We don't do stuff like that to each other.
Oh, yes, we do.
You know, I spent 7 stinking years hanging off the back of that truck. 7 years getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, in the rain, in the snow, picking up other people's garbage. People who treated me like scum.
Who cares?
I would go to all the parties. You know, I'd listen to all the snide remarks like, what school you go to, PU? Or, look, it's the man from Glad. Or what has 4 wheels and flies?
Get in there.
But I never let it bother me, because I knew if I just did my job, just kept the streets and my nose clean, that one day I'd be promoted to this. Then we'd see who's laughing.
Not me.
So what does have 4 wheels and flaws?
You ask me that again, I'll rip your tongue out.
I'm going to sit down now.
Anything shaking?
Yeah. I checked Hillier for priors, and he's clean.
Okay.
Then I checked out the car. I dug up a stolen vehicle report from 1957. And then I called the owner. She's coming down.
Okay.
Anything shaking with you?
No, not really.
You're not talking to me either. Ever since you started this thing with Harris, no one is talking to anyone around here.
Whoa, Jim.
Unless it's duty related.
Look, you guys don't like what's going on around here? Talk to Mr. Harris. I have done everything I can to reconcile with the man, and he just keeps putting me off.
Excuse me.
Hey, Ron, we were just talking about you.
It's okay. I'll be out of here in a second.
Why don't we get that over here?
Harris,
Yeah?
my office.
Why? Problem with the crime statistics?
Ron, this is your agent.
Oh. Tell him I'll call him back tonight.
Said if you're not at that meeting in an hour, you're going to blow the book deal.
Oh. Well, that's that.
Go to the meeting.
No. I've got work to do.
Forget it. We'll cover for you. I'll cover for you. Look, will you do me a favor? Go home and write that damn book.
I can't.
What?
I can't write anymore. This whole thing was a joke.
Captain, I think we got a real cop in trouble. There's a construction site on Amsterdam. There's a cop dangling from a scaffold about 10 flights up.
Oh, my God, that's Levitt.
Dietrich, you and me. Barney, you call emergency services.
Right.
Tell them we're going to need a fire truck.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Come on, let's go.
Wasn't Levitt on with anybody?
Oh. It was a simple call. All he had to do was chase a couple of kids off a bulldozer. I didn't anticipate anything like this was going to happen.
It's all right. I mean, at least we're talking. I'll call the hospitals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Levitt is fine. He's just fine. Dietrich went over to Bellevue with him, but everything's going to be all right.
What the hell happened?
Well, according to witnesses, there were assorted 8- and 9-year-olds up on the 10th floor, taking turns jumping up and down on one of those suspended painter scaffolds.
Playing chicken. Didn't you ever do that?
When it got to be the fat kid's turn, one of the cables snapped and left one Howie Drobish swaying in the breeze and clinging onto the safety rail for dear life. Somehow, Levitt managed to get up there and swing out onto the scaffold.
You're kidding.
No. He just yanked the kid up by the seat of his pants, threw him back into the building, and then that's when he lost his grip and fell.
Fell?
Made a perfect 3-point landing on another scaffold 1 floor below.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So by the time Dietrich and I got there, the paramedics had already reeled him in, and they didn't seem to think that anything was broken.
Great.
Oh, when they brought him out, Levitt tipped his hat to the crowd and got himself a great big standing ovation. I got statements from everybody, so I'm going to write this up.
Thank you.
You need any help?
Nah, I can handle it. But, thanks for the thought.
Can I help you?
I'm not sure. I think I took the wrong stairs.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for the policeman who found my DeSoto.
Are you Miss Shawcross?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Sergeant Wojciechowicz. Yeah, I talked to you this morning.
Oh, I appreciate your finding me after all these years.
Sure. Did you see your car downstairs?
Oh, well, how could I miss it? I mean, it's so big. And pink.
Hey, it's coral. It was a very popular shade that year.
Perhaps that's why I bought it.
Yeah, want to have a seat here? Finish up some paperwork, and then you can drive your car home.
Oh. Oh, I hope I remember how.
Yeah, can I help you?
Herb Boskin, Department of Sanitation. I understand you have a problem with one of my officers?
Oh, yeah. Officer Earl. He's in the cage there. I'll get the captain for you.
Slide it.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Boston?
What are you doing in there?
Beats me.
Boskin, I'm Captain Miller.
Captain, I'm a little confused. Why is this officer in jail?
This officer took a shot at somebody for throwing a candy bar on the grass.
You did what?
Hey, don't you start on me now, too.
Starting, what happened to all your training? These men have a standing order, and we drill it into their heads every day. The gun stays in the holster. Unless your life is on the line.
That guy was 2 feet from a trash can.
Captain, is there some place that we can talk in private? You see, Captain, Officer Slottick is only recently SP.
SP?
Sanitation police. And I just hate to think that this one isolated incident with soil and otherwise perfect record.
Are you kidding? That madman could have killed somebody.
Come on, he's a rookie. You know how they are. Fresh off the truck, in love with the uniform. Thinks he's gonna clean up the city overnight. He just got a little overzealous, that's all. You were probably the same way yourself.
No, I was never a garbage man.
I hate that
Look, what is it you want of me?
word. Turn Slottick over to me.
I can't do that. Somebody signed a complaint against him.
Look, Captain, I don't think you can fully appreciate my situation here. Our little force has had one shakeup as it is. You know, some rotten apples demoted for abusing their rank, and several patrolmen suspended for turning in bogus citations.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh? Well, anyway, we put all that behind us, you know, and we've taken steps to solve those problems, and I just hate to think that the city's gonna dump on us again just because Slottick got nuts with his gun.
Why do you people carry guns anyway?
We're cops.
No, we're cops. You're garbage men.
You keep coming back to that.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm Joseph Hillier. We spoke earlier. I'm the guy who stole your DeSoto back in '57.
I'm Louise Shallcross.
How do you do?
I must say, Joseph, you've taken very good care of the car.
Sure. I devoted half my life to it.
You must love the DeSoto very much.
Are you kidding? We haven't been apart for one day all these years. Sure. You know, I used to rush right home every day after work just to see that she was okay. And on the weekends, I used to pamper her. I used to wash her with warm, sudsy water. And then I would take a soft chamois and I would rub her until she was gleaming. You know, if this didn't happen, I was going to surprise her next month with a set of classic plates, you know, for our 25th anniversary.
And now I've ruined everything.
It's okay. Still your car.
Of course, you're welcome to come and visit us from time to time.
Really?
I like bubble baths, too.
Okay, Mr. Boskin.
Thanks for all the help, Captain.
Hey, for one of the boys.
Hey, Mr. Boskin, what about me?
Sorry, Slottick, there's nothing more I can do for you.
What? You mean I gotta go to jail?
Probably, but hey, best of luck.
Hey, wait a minute, Boskin, where are you going? Nobody turns their back on me! Freeze! He just walked away.
Excuse me.
Captain, I've talked with Mr. Hillier, and I think he deserves a second chance.
Who are you?
Barnes, this is Louise Shawcross. She owns the DeSoto.
Oh, hello.
And the statute of limitations was up 18 years ago. I checked with the DA's office for fun.
What about the assault charge? Turn him loose.
Okay, how are you getting on?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Joseph,
I'll get you valuable.
Yeah.
this is my phone number.
Thanks a lot.
Now, whenever you get the urge to see the car or me, just give us a ring. We'll always be there.
I'm looking forward to it.
Milk off.
Hey, Levy.
I'm glad you're all right.
My God.
No biggie, sir. Just a little scalpel lash. Only temporary.
Hey,
That's something anyway.
Anyway, I suppose that Sergeant Harris filled you in on the details.
Yes, yes. We're very proud of you, Levitt.
Thank you, sir. Well, now, if there's nothing else, I have a report to do.
No way, Carl. He's got a fractured wrist, a very decent neck sprain. Doctor said he should be off his feet for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, take him home, Dietrich.
But, sir...
Levitt, go home, rest, relax. I'll be in good shape for the ceremony, don't you? I'm gonna put you up for a Medal of Valor.
Hey, all right.
Sir, you must be toying with me.
Now, Levitt.
I hardly deserve it. Perhaps Sergeant Harris simply over-embellished.
No.
I still don't think it's necessary.
Levitt, you saved the kid's life. Take the medal.
Well, insist on ramming it down my throat, sir.
Dietrich, get him out of here.
Let's go, Carl.
Big mouth.
Oh. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Happy motoring.
It's almost checkout time, so I think I'll just run Mr. Earl down to the Tombs and go on home from there.
Unless you'd rather stay and talk.
Look, what it really comes down to is that I haven't been able to write a thing since Blood on the Badge. I mean, I tried. I mean, I really have. I sit, I stare at my typewriter, and nothing happens.
What about all those phone calls from the agent? All those meetings?
No, you never let me go. And I really appreciated it.
Well, you could tell a person.
Sorry. Anyway, look. It's really my problem, and I'm the one who's really going to have to deal with it. Hey, but... Look, I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings, you know, by dragging it in here.
You shouldn't be sorry. I mean, if any of us has got a problem, we got to get it out in the open to solve it.
I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you say that you can't write. I just found out I'm sterile. I'm just beginning to deal with that one. The point is that we can work it out together.
Okay. Just not in the same room.
Morning, Dietrich.
Hey, Carl, how you feeling?
Well, everything's going okay, except the cold weather gives me an occasional twinge. Hey, guess what the name of that bone is?
The humerus.
Right. What a guess.
Levitt?
Morning, sir.
What are you doing here?
We're just trying to do my bit.
Levitt, I admire your dedication, but you were injured in the line of duty and you're not due back until the department doctor says so.
The doctor said it was up to me, sir. I told him I preferred to stay on the line with you and the rest of my buddies.
It's very warm of you.
Thank you, sir. Sir?
Barney.
Yes?
I am really sorry. I stopped off at this art gallery. Barn, I had to pick this up or lose it.
Harris, we're going to have to talk about priorities.
You're absolutely right, Barn. I'm really sorry. And I would like to take just this 1 minute to apologize to everyone who's
All
here.
right,
Barn, it'll never happen again.
All right, all right.
Barney, if you could spare just 1 more minute, I'd really like you to see this. Wait, don't look. If you're gonna look at this, you've got to see it in exactly the right light.
It's interesting.
Isn't it?
What is it?
It's a cat.
Where's the head, the tail, and the body?
That's the artist's name, Andrew Cat. He just signed himself A Cat, double T. This print is called simply Opus 64.
Well, what is it?
It's an Opus 64.
You remember what Nietzsche said, though? Art has no need of certainty. The artist may have felt that a cat had been there and gone.
A cat has nothing to do with it. That's just the artist's name.
Yeah, I heard you. I was just thinking that could have been a self-portrait of A Cat, the artist, after he'd been there and gone.
Barney, what do you think?
Well, honestly, I'm not much of a connoisseur, and I'm not at all familiar with the works of Andrew Cat.
Well, I wasn't either. You know, it just caught my eye. Of course, the dealer did say that if I bought an Andrew Cat today, I could double my money tomorrow.
Is that new?
No. He's that old. 88 to be exact. He had a coronary last night. They say he doesn't stand a chance.
I see. If he dies, his works will be that much more valuable.
Probably.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Right, we'll send somebody there right away. Captain, domestic quarrel, husband and wife, violent consummation, assault and battery.
Harris.
Sir.
You and Dietrich.
Get right on it.
You know, you may have something. Collector could make a good thing. You're checking the obituaries for dead artists and buying up all that stuff.
Could be.
Well, there was an artist in the 60s, a guy named Schroeder. Work used to go for peanuts. He died in 76.
Yeah? What's a Schroeder worth now?
Peanuts.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Just seemed apropos.
Look, man, I am a collector, not a vulture. I bought this picture because I like this picture. And if this old geezer lives, then that's just his damn luck.
Okay. Well, here, Mr. Kopechny.
I've got nothing to say.
Well, that's your privilege. But we're gonna need some information.
I just want to die.
Sit down and relax, Mr. Kopechny. Breaking a window is not a capital offense. What the hell was that?
What?
That noise that you... You been in here before, Mr. Kopechny?
Yeah.
About, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
You thought you were a werewolf? We sent you to Bellevue, yeah?
Yeah.
So
they cured me. I'm not a werewolf anymore.
And what was that little growl?
That wasn't a werewolf.
And what was it?
The demon.
What demon?
I'm possessed. Whoa, Joe. Really?
Yeah, I know, Martin. Look, listen, I was window shopping at Siegel's department store, and Mr. Kopechny here threw a garbage can through the window. You remember Mr. Kopechny?
Oh, it's familiar.
Yeah, it's Stefan Kopechny.
Stefan, right. What,
About 5 years ago, he thought he was a werewolf. Now he says he's possessed by a demon.
It's true. I am.
Barney?
something going down?
Something coming up.
Don't rush me.
Mrs. Griswold. Captain Miller?
This is our battered wife?
It's battered husband this time.
I'm not hurt, Captain. It's these tight jeans.
If you pardon my asking, what are you wearing them for?
To please Roy, he gave them to me. You don't think I'd buy these for myself, do you?
Roy Griswold is on his way down to sign a complaint. He needed a few stitches.
I put a dent in his fat head with my coffee mug. It said Cynthia on it.
Oh?
My name is Norma. Cynthia's his first wife. He's always comparing us, talking about her. He even put a picture of her in our bedroom.
She was wearing tight jeans. She had the figure for it, too.
So did I when I was 12. A coffee mug this morning. That was the last straw. I asked him to buy me one. He puts her name on it. Oh, God. I can't even pace angrily in these.
Harris, you should have let her change.
But she insisted that you see what provoked the attack.
Mrs. Griswold, I'm afraid there is no such thing as justifiable assault.
You don't know Roy.
Yeah, well, that'll be up to a judge to decide. Sergeant Harris is going to have to book you.
It was worth it.
Why don't you sit down?
You've got to be kidding.
Mrs. Griswold can stand.
Stitch in time. Mrs. Griswold, would you like to, just stand right over here, please?
Thank you.
We're getting it all down, Barn.
Was that a growl?
Yeah. Mr. Kopechny, this is Sergeant Dietrich. He believes he's possessed.
How come? I fell asleep in the subway last night. I was alone in the car.
You're lucky.
And then suddenly I smelled sulfur. And then I realized I wasn't alone in the car. Someone was sitting next to me. Malevolent eyes. Foul smelling.
There's a lot of people like that on the subway.
He told me his name was Belial.
Milk cold. Will still be of service, even though I'm off duty. Sergeant Harris?
Thank you.
Sergeant Dietrich? Looks like some early Christmas cards.
Christmas! Silent night! Holy night! Peace on earth! Garbage!
All right. I'm gonna call the FBI. Destroying U.S. mail is a federal offense.
It's all right, Carl. The devil made him do it. I'm gonna put you in a cage now, Mr. Capelli. Come on.
What got into him?
Now what?
Who?
What a mess.
What was that racket out there?
It's Kopechny. He's flipping out again. He's going in the cage now.
Why do they turn sick people loose? We just have to ship them right back.
Well, I'll call Bellevue.
Oh, wait. He doesn't want to go back to the hospital. He wants to be exorcised by a priest.
Wonderful.
What is happening with this guy?
Joe, I don't know. It's none of our business. Turn it over to Bellevue.
This guy is not unique. Virtually every known culture has attributed this type of antisocial behavior to the invasion of the body by powerful demons. Because I don't have to tell you that.
Dietrich.
And he says there's this other guy involved. A guy named Belial.
Belial?
Belial, alias Abaddon, Beelzebub, Lucifer.
Oh, come on.
Mephistopheles, Satan, Old Nick.
Dietrich, no judge is going to buy possession as a line of defense.
Well, it was just used in a Connecticut murder case.
Really?
You know what they say, Bon. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Excuse me.
Oh, hello, Captain.
Mr. Kopechny, remember we helped you last time?
Oh, yes, sir.
We'd like to help you again.
Bellevue.
Yeah.
I'm not going back there.
Come on, Mr.
This is beyond their power. It is beyond my power. It's beyond your power. This is beyond any power on earth.
I want a priest! I want this demon to another king!
Get me a priest. Get me a priest.
Get me a priest!
Roger, get on it, will you?
I want a priest!
Get me a priest.
What's going on? It's ringing.
Put me on hold.
Try another line!
Forget it, Roger. Get him a priest.
Good morning, Wojo. Yeah, Father. Clement, Captain wants to talk to you right away.
You've been attending Mass regularly?
Well,
That's my answer.
You know, I thought about studying for the priesthood once.
change your mind.
Couldn't stand being celibate.
Well, how do you know? You don't have to be until after you're ordained.
I practiced.
For how long?
4 hours.
Is that all?
Told you I couldn't stand it.
Hello, Norma.
Cynthia's husband.
Sarcasm doesn't become you, Norma.
How do you know what becomes me? The only thing we have in common is we're both chafed.
Yeah? And I've just had 12 stitches and a tetanus shot.
You had it coming. You better face it, Roy. You cannot have two women at the same time.
Not if you want to be sharp the next day. Sorry.
12 Precinct, Sergeant Dietrich. Hold on a moment. Ron, it's for you. Mount Sinai Hospital. It's Andrew Katz's nurse.
Oh, I called earlier. Just wanted to see how the old boy was. Sergeant Harris here. How's he doing? Great. Full recovery? Oh, say that's great. Isn't that great?
That's just great.
That's just great. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Look, Cynthia and I were both kids when I married her. This gorgeous little cheerleader with legs up to here and those pom-poms.
Roy, you loved her.
Everybody did. Of course, I didn't find that out in time to stop it.
You want to sign this complaint, Mr. Griswold?
Will she be able to leave?
Leave here or leave you?
Here.
No.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm a writer. I'm used to rejection.
I guess I'll have to get used to it, too.
You know, Captain, all these years in the department have made me more a policeman than a priest. Talking down jumpers, talking hoods into releasing their hostages. I've done most of my sermons through a bullhorn. The other day, a supplicant came up to me and said he wanted to confess. I told him he had the right to remain silent.
There you are, you white-collared hypocrite.
My son, you asked for a priest?
Watch it, mackerel snapper! You come any closer, I'll consume you in the flames of hell!
How can I help you, Mr. Kopechny?
Help Kopechny! He's mine! Beat it. You don't have any power here.
Whoever you are, my power is greater than yours.
You're full of prunes.
That's not nice.
Really, mothman.
It's making this very difficult.
You're doing fine.
I'm trying. My son, we have all faced the demon of loneliness and anxiety.
Demon of loneliness! Demon of hell!
Why did you leave us in the light of our faith?
I'm not going anywhere, you flatulent old fraud!
All right, hey, now you watch it. There's no need to get personal.
Why don't you crawl back to your confessional, you pious pervert?
How'd you like a good smack in the mouth?
Respect the man, you gotta respect the uniform, is that right? So I'm out. Take your faith and shove it! No, demon! Turn on his titles! Take it! I'll open the cage! You think I'm getting open it? Take it easy! Take it easy!
How could I do that? How could I raise my hands to another? I can't call myself a priest.
Hey, why not? Look, you did a hell of a job.
Barney, boys from Bellevue are downstairs.
Ward Joe, take him down.
Yeah.
Father, it would be really helpful if you went with him.
Thank you. I think I've done quite enough already.
But, Father...
Father, are you a priest?
Yes, and he's a good one, too.
Oh, Father, could you spare some of your time? I need your help desperately.
Okay, let's give it another whack.
Oh, bless you, Father.
Okay, here we go, Mr. Becky. Come on.
See, it all started in the subway. No, it all started many years ago in... I don't know. I just get so confused.
Oh, forget it. It happens. It happens. Just start again. Slowly.
all possessed by our own demons. Mine seems to be good taste. And I doubt that I'll ever.
Okay, here we are. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I feel so embarrassed.
Get over it. What do we got, Wood? This is Alice Grant. It's Captain Miller. It's Grant? She propositioned me over on Broadway. Oh. Asked me if I wanted to go for a roll in the hay.
Don't people say that anymore?
Not in this neighborhood, no.
Well, nobody told me. Actually, this is my first time. I didn't even know what to wear.
You did okay.
You know, you'd think the other girls would be a little helpful.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I don't suppose there's any kind of a training program.
Not in the formal sense. No, would you have a seat, Miss Grant? Well, Joe?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Gotta get some information first.
You know, you were the first person I approached. You seem to have a hungry look in your eye.
I was going into a restaurant.
Oh, thought it was me.
Address?
136 Mamie Eisenhower Way. Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Wait a minute, are you in the Army?
Should I have mentioned that?
What are you doing hooking in the village?
We get days off. My roommate just moved out of our off-base apartment, leaving me with the rent. And my mother just moved into a nursing home, and I have to send her money. All on a take-home pay of about $5.50 a month. What would you do?
Well, I wouldn't sell my body.
Ever?
Well, all the girls get paid the same thing, don't they? I mean, what do they do?
They quit. They're not as patriotic as I am.
She's in the Army.
Miss,
Grant. Would you believe it? She says she doesn't make enough money to cover her obligations.
Well, there's a lot of that going around.
There's a lot of people resigning, she says.
Wojo, much as I'm loath to admit it, I don't have a ready solution.
Me either.
Get a dog.
John Max Company. They had no cameras, no gold watches, no mean coats, just a bunch of dried up fruit and a crate of Slim Whitman records. You know who he is? He yodels on TV.
Boring.
Yeah, I think so.
Sit down.
Our silent alarm was a break-in. We got him with these.
What are they?
Microprocessor chips. They're the essence of a computer. They formulate each thought to tell it what to do. Each chip can hold millions of functions. There's probably $20,000 worth in it.
You serious?
Yeah.
Delancey Exports, shipped to Walensky Importing Company, Gdansk, Poland. It may be in over our heads. Better call the FBI.
Barney, I thought I could get into it.
I believe you have plenty to do around here.
Nothing truly exciting.
Call the FBI.
Okay, thank you. Well, they're sending someone from the base down to pick you up.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Are they very upset?
They didn't sound too friendly.
Can I help you?
I'm Leo Haddon.
Can I do for you, Mr. Haddon?
No, you called me.
I did?
Delancey Export. Sergeant Dietrich?
I'm Captain Miller. Dietrich! This is Mr. Haddon, Delancey Exports. You called him?
About a burglary at my warehouse?
You had some goods you were shipping overseas? They're in that box over there. Just want to establish ownership for the burglary report. You ship a lot of things to Poland?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that. Some jeans, dried fruit, Bobby Vinton posters.
Microchips?
Dietrich!
Excuse me.
Did you call the FBI?
Yes, sir.
And?
They're on their way down.
Good. Let them handle it.
Yeah, I just wanted,
Yeah, just don't get involved.
I won't tell them anything. How about this? I give them the plot, but I won't tell them who did it. Mr. Haddon, we need your signature on a complaint. We'll have a seat.
You know, this is the first time I've been robbed. I had a watchdog, but he died.
Well, they're still making them. Speaking of watchdogs, do you export a lot of these high-technology microcircuits?
Ah, they're not high technology. They go into electronic amusement games.
Oh, yeah, I love that stuff. That's where you shoot down planes, blow up tanks, wipe out cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Sergeant Dietrich.
Right here.
Oh.
You with the FBI?
Who, me? Oh, my God.
That's not.
My name is Lawrence Oakes. I own Sunny Time Electronics.
Thanks for coming down, Mr. Oakes. Just want to ask you a few questions.
No, look, I'm married. I have 3 children. I'm a veteran. I volunteered.
Did you sell these chips to Mr. Haddon?
Oh, yes, but yes.
Take it easy, Larry.
He said they were going into games for Polish children. They had nothing to do with the military.
Larry.
That's what you said.
But no one's accusing you of anything, Mr. Oakes.
It's all right. He's just excitable.
We were introduced by my brother-in-law's uncle, and I needed the business. I mean, what's wrong with that? What did I do? I didn't do anything.
This is Mr. Oakes. He sold the chips to Mr. Haddon.
Yeah?
Do you have water? I take pills.
Just take it easy. Right over there. Help yourself.
It's getting interesting.
Yes?
Leo! Hello, Frank!
Well, you're looking good.
Yeah.
How's the wife?
Great. She asks about you all the time. Yours?
Oh, a little arthritis, nothing serious.
Excuse me. I'm Captain Miller.
Oh, how do you do? Rilling, Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Oh, Mr. Rilling. Well, we may have stumbled into your area, I'm afraid.
Appreciate the call, Captain.
Obviously, you two know each other.
Oh, we're old friends. Yeah. Boston, San Francisco, Miami.
Hawaii.
What weather?
Yeah.
I had a Hobie cat.
Let me get this straight. Mr. Haddon's in the exporting business.
Mr. Haddon is an agent for the KGB.
He'd never said that on his checks.
I assume you'll be taking Mr. Haddon, Mr. Oakes into custody?
Oh, absolutely.
On what grounds?
Come on, Leo. Microchips designated for Eastern Bloc countries are subject to embargo by the Department of Commerce. You know that.
Well, I've read the commodity control list pretty carefully, Frank. And chips going into amusement devices aren't covered.
Chips are chips. Am I right?
Well, I don't...
No. There are chips that are legal chips, then there are chips that are not legal chips, but not these chips. These chips are legal chips. Please, I don't want to go to jail. My wife hardly talks to me now.
We're dealing in unimportant technicality.
Well, I'm not too sure about that now.
Why don't you back off and let me handle it?
It's a pretty crude way of putting it. You're in charge here.
Okay.
Look, Mr. Rilling, I'll admit that we're dealing with something that's out of my area. However, this happens to be my jurisdiction, and I would like to know what is going on here.
Yeah, me too.
Shut up.
Hey, I started this.
All right. The point is, are you absolutely certain that it is illegal to export those chips?
If Leo is involved, it has to be.
Department of Commerce would know.
Right. Call him.
You sure you want to get involved?
Just call him.
You must think I'm a real idiot for doing what I did.
Well, I guess you blew your good conduct medal.
I guess. But I'm glad it turned out this way, though. I mean, with you.
How come?
Because, to tell you the truth, I probably couldn't have gone through with it.
Oh, yeah?
Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I just can't handle the pressure like I used to.
Oh, you're as good as you ever were.
How do I take that?
As a compliment.
Thanks, Leo. I'm getting tired of chasing around the country, at least with Abscam. You could sit down. You know something? I'm going to retire next summer.
Are you serious?
Wouldn't lie to you.
You know, that's funny. I was just thinking about that myself. I made a down payment on a condominium.
Moscow?
Honolulu. You know, some deep-sea fishing, a little golf, lying on the beach.
Might have some time to do first.
You got no case, Frank.
You always say that, Leo.
You, here for the Russian?
The hooker.
Oh, yeah. If you'll just wait right there, I'll get Captain Miller. Barney. Army's here. Oh. Listen, I'm feeling really bad. I think I should have just let her go.
It's a little late for that, huh?
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. The thing is that you could explain the extenuating circumstances to them. Well, just use that commanding, persuasive voice of yours.
Wojo.
Yeah, there, just like that.
I'm Captain Miller.
I'm Sergeant Lake.
Sergeant.
On behalf of the 31st Motorized Infantry Battalion, I would like to apologize for Specialist Grant's behavior.
I only did it because I love the service.
Funny way of showing it.
Excuse me, Sergeant Wojciechowicz, the arresting officer.
Sergeant?
Hi. I'd like to tell you what happened.
Isn't it in your report?
Well, yeah, the cold facts are, but there's extenuating circumstances.
Well, that'll be up to the Army to decide.
At least you could listen to me.
She's out of your jurisdiction.
She's sitting at my desk.
All right, Wojo. Sergeant, if I could see you in my office for a moment.
Sit.
What took you so long?
What I think Sergeant Wojciechowicz was trying to say was that if Miss Grant were not in the Army, we would be inclined to give her a desk appearance ticket and send her home.
But the fact is, Captain, she is in the Army, and what she is trying to sell belongs to the United States government.
I won't dispute that. I just hate to see a career ruined because of one small mistake. Are you aware of her financial problems?
Captain, I command 112 girls, and all of them have problems, and I listen to them all day long. Powdered eggs makes my face break. Somebody stole my sweat sheet. I mean, I I can't make maneuvers because I got cramps. I mean, the fact is, Captain, that if a woman wants to make a career in the Army, she has to make sacrifices. I mean, God knows I did. 2 years in Guam, sweating like a pig in the Quonset huts, while all of those Navy nurses had all of the fun. I didn't earn these stripes in bed, buddy.
I can believe that.
And now, tomorrow, I have to lock these heels and face my CO and tell him that one of my troop was found in a sleazy hotel with a strange man. A bottle of cheap gin on the night table. Soft music playing in the background.
Sergeant?
Bodies caressing each other. Touching. Fondling.
Sergeant?
Sweat. Glistening until it drops off of her dog tag. Until that final moment of rapture.
Sergeant, she was picked up outside a deli. None of that happened.
Well, thank God for that.
Barney, excuse me. James Sybeck from the Commerce Department is here.
Thank you. Excuse me. Sybeck, I'm Captain Miller. Captain. Mr. Rillings, Mr. Haddon, and Mr. Oakes. Rillings, KGB. Haddon's FBI.
Just the other way around.
Oh, you're,
Rilling, FBI.
Oh, I like your show. Mr. Sybeck, there seems to be some dispute here with regard to what can be exported and what can't. Join the crowd. So, where's it going? Poland. They're microcomputer chips. Uh-huh. 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 Well? They can't go. Oh, my God. They're going to an Eastern Bloc country, and they're being used for military purposes, right?
Electronic games.
Uh-huh. Then they can go. Oh, thank God. Non-reprogrammable chips can be exported if they're used in amusement devices.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as non-reprogrammable chips if you can afford to reprogram them. According to an industry trade journal, the microprocessors in video games are 5 years more advanced than those generally used by our military.
Is that true? I suppose. Did you know that?
Well, yes, I had heard something to that effect.
And you sold him that stuff anyway?
If it wasn't me, it would be someone else.
It's a wonderful attitude. So what do we do? Nothing. For the moment. What do you mean for the moment? Well, the commodity control list is always being changed and updated. Try us next month. By next month, those chips could be in Moscow. And this guy just walks out? Unless you want an international incident. Wonderful.
No hard feelings.
You know, Mr. Haddon, the irony of this is that it's only in a country like this one, where the power of law is above all else, that you get to walk out that door.
Frank, have a good life. You've earned your rest.
Leo, take care of yourself.
If you're ever in Honolulu, look me up.
I won't be getting around very much. Rocking chairs, some good books, Catskill Mountains. That's it for me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gentlemen.
Honolulu. Pearl Harbor, Schofield Barracks, Hickam Air Force Base. I'm gonna get that sucker if it's the last thing I do.
I think we'll be going now.
Oh, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Police business.
Let's go, Grant.
Thanks for your help.
Look, if you ever get liberty again, We'll have dinner or something.
Oh, I'd like that. And I wouldn't charge you anything.
Nice meeting you, Captain.
My pleasure.
Ever get to Fort Tix, pop me a flare.
Yeah, sure.
Now, let's go, specialist. Move!
Barn, it's almost checkout time. I'm going to split.
Good night.
Good night.
Me too, Barney. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to run Puente down to Tombs, and I'm going to take off myself.
Okay.
Quite a day, huh?
Gotta be the most exasperating, frustrating experience I've ever been through.
So why'd you drag me into it?
Taken his role as managing director to heart, creating a revision schedule for Dell that involved everything from the history of the Ottoman Empire to the chemical composition of a digestive biscuit. Rodney, I'm a trader, not a university professor, Dell complained, throwing a book on Greek mythology onto the sofa. I don't need to know who the god of thunder was. I just need to know how to spot a bargain. Knowledge is power, Dell, Rodney replied, pacing the room with a clipboard. If they ask you a question about the Parthenon, you can't just say it's a Greek restaurant in Streatham. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Raquel were dealing with their own executive stress. I'm worried about them, Raquel, Cassandra whispered as they sat in the kitchen, watching the brothers argue in the living room. Rodney's so focused on this managing director thing, he's starting to believe his own hype. And Dell looks tired. Raquel nodded, stirring a pot of stew. He is tired. Cassandra, he's been carrying this family for 30 years. He thinks if he wins this, he can finally rest. But men like Dell don't know how to rest. They just find a bigger deal to chase. Thursday arrived with a torrential downpour that seemed to mock the title of the show. There was no gold in the sky over London today, only slate gray clouds. The drive to Television Center was silent. Rodney gripped the steering wheel of the Capri, which Dell had let him drive for morale purposes, his knuckles white. Dell sat in the passenger seat, staring out the window at the passing city. You ready, Dell? Ready as I'll ever be, Rodney. Just remember, if I get stuck, I'm calling you. And don't you dare mention Mickey Pierce. The studio was even more intimidating the second time around. The audience was packed, the cameras were buzzing, and Jonathan Ross looked even more polished than before. Welcome back to Gold Rush, Jonathan announced, the applause echoing in the rafters. And a very special welcome back to the man of the hour, the man who proved the researchers wrong, Derek Trotter. Dell walked out, his velvet blazer gleaming under the studio lights. He looked at the camera, flashed his most winning smile, and for a moment, the bankruptcy, the tax debt, and the hiccups didn't exist. He was Del Boy. He was the king of Peckham, and he was here to claim his throne. Chapter 12, The 100,000-Pound Question. The round-by-round progression was a masterclass in Trotter luck. Dell navigated the questions about 16th century art thanks to a tip from a man who sold frames in Lewisham and the history of wine, which he knew by taste, if not by date. By the time he reached the final stage, the tension in the room was palpable. Raquel and Cassandra were clutching each other in the front row. Rodney was standing in the wings, his heart beating like a drum. "This is it, Derek," Jonathan said, the lights dimming until only the gold path was illuminated. "You have 50,000 pounds in the bank. You can walk away now, pay your debts, and live a comfortable life. Or you can answer the final question for 100,000 pounds. The audience was silent. Dell looked at Raquel. He saw the hope in her eyes. He looked at Rodney. He saw the brother who had stood by him through every failed scheme and every empty promise. "I've spent my life walking away from things when they got too hot, Jonathan," Dell said, his voice steady. "But not today. We're trotters. We don't walk. We trade. Let's have the question." The audience erupted. Jonathan Ross waited for the silence to return. "For 100,000 pounds, here is your question. In the world of maritime history, the phrase the ancient mariner refers to a famous poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. But what was the specific name of the ship the mariner sailed upon?" The room went cold. Dole's mind raced. Ships, maritime history, Uncle Albert. During the war, he could hear Albert's voice. The stories he'd dismissed as wartime sagas. The hours spent listening to the old man drone on about the sea. "I know this," Dell whispered. "I actually know this." He thought of the wrong funeral for Bunny Warren. He thought of the monogram brandy glass. He thought of the man who had been around the world more times than a Russian satellite. "It's not a trick," Dell muttered to himself. "It's a memory." He looked at the camera. "Jonathan, the ship didn't have a name. It was just the ship, but the poem describes it as a specter bark or a ghost ship. However, if you're looking for the name of the vessel that Coleridge based the story on, it was a ship called the Fortune." The silence stretched. Rodney was holding his breath so hard he was turning blue. Jonathan Ross looked at the card. He looked at Dell. He smiled. "Derek Trotter, that is absolutely correct. You've won 100,000 pounds." The explosion of noise was deafening. Raquel and Cassandra charged onto the stage. Rodney followed, hugging Dell with a force that nearly knocked both of them over. "You did it, Dell. You actually did it." Dell stood in the middle of the chaos, the golden confetti falling around him like rain. He was laughing, crying, and shouting all at once. "See, Rodney, what did I tell you? This time next year. No, wait, this year. We're millionaires." Chapter 13, The Morning After the Gold. The return to Peckham was not in a yellow van, but in a chauffeur-driven limousine provided by the BBC. As they pulled up to Nelson Mandela House, A crowd of neighbors had gathered. Denzel was there, Trigger was waving a broom, and even Boyke looked genuinely impressed. But as the party in the flat began to wind down, reality started to creep back in. The check arrives in 30 days, Rodney said, sitting at the kitchen table with a calculator. $50,000 to the Inland Revenue, $10,000 for the legal fees. That leaves us with $40,000. $40,000, Dell asked, pouring a very large cognac. That's a lot of money, Rodney. It's not $6 million, but it's a start. We can move. We can get you that house. Rodney looked at Cassandra. She smiled and shook her head. Dell, she said, taking a seat. We talked about it. Rodney and we don't want to move yet. We want to use the money to restart the firm. Properly this time. No knockoff watches. No exploding dolls. A real consultancy. Dell looked at them, surprised. Restart the firm. Under Rodney's management? Yes, Rodney said, his voice firm. Managing Director Rodney Trotter. But I'm going to need a chairman. Someone with experience. Someone who knows how to close a deal. Dell felt a lump in his throat. He looked at Raquel, who was holding Damien as he slept on the sofa. Chairman Derek Trotter, Dell whispered, I like the sound of that. It's got Laboratory Garney. Ray Sondiater, Dell, Rodney corrected gently. Whatever. They sat in the quiet of the flat, the neon sign of the estate flickering outside. They weren't millionaires anymore. The gold from the studio had already been accounted for by the ghosts of their past mistakes. But for the first time in years, they weren't running. They were standing still, and they were together. You know, Rodney, Dell said, looking at a photo of their mum on the mantel, I think she'd be proud. We kept our promise. We stuck together. Yeah, Dell, we did. But listen, Dell leaned in, his eyes sparking with that old familiar fire. I was talking to the driver of that limo on the way home. He knows a bloke in Croydon who's got a consignment of slightly damp, but perfectly functional, industrial-sized fans. With the summer coming up, we could make a killing. Dell, Rodney groaned. No, listen, it's a guaranteed winner this time next year. As the lights of Nelson Mandela House faded into the night, the dream lived on. Because in the world of the Trotters, the goalpost might move, and the millions might vanish, but the hustle the beautiful, chaotic, hopeful hustle would never die. Chapter 14, The Executive Suite. The new official headquarters of Trotter's Independent Traders Phase 2 was, as Rodney put it, a work in progress. In reality, it was still the living room of Nelson Mandela House, but with a few significant alterations. Rodney had insisted on buying a second-hand mahogany desk that was so large it required the removal of the sofa to fit into the corner. It commands respect, Dell, Rodney said, adjusting his swivel chair, which squeaked with every movement. When a client walks in, hypothetically speaking, they need to see a man of stature, a man of administration. Dell, leaning against the sideboard with a toothpick in his mouth, looked at the desk and then at Rodney. Rodney, you look like a primary school kid who's accidentally wandered into the headmaster's office. And where am I supposed to sit? On the floor. You're the chairman, Dell. You're mobile. You're the face of the company in the field. You're the outreach. The outreach? That's a fancy word for the bloke who carries the boxes, isn't it? Dell snorted. Anyway, never mind the mahogany. Have you seen the fans? The fans, all 200 of them, were currently occupying the balcony, covered by a suspicious-looking tarp. They were the industrial-sized units Dell had mentioned, and they did indeed smell faintly of canal water. We need a marketing strategy, Rodney, Dell said, his eyes lighting up. I've been thinking. Trotter's Turbo Chill. It sounds modern. It sounds aerodynamic. Dell, we agreed. Proper consultancy. We're not selling damp fans from the balcony. Rodney slammed his hand on the desk, only to wince as a splinter caught his palm. We're supposed to be advising businesses on efficiency and growth. And what's more efficient than a workforce that isn't sweating like a glassblower's bottom? Dell shot back. I've already made a call. There's a warehouse in Deptford. Their air conditioning has gone caput, and the foreman is a bloke I know called Greasy George. He's desperate. Rodney sighed, the managing director's facade cracking slightly. Greasy George, does he have a legitimate business license? He's got a van and a clipboard, Rodney. In Peckham, that's a conglomerate. Come on, put your executive suit on. We're going to do a deal. Chapter 15, The Great Fan Fiasco. The Deptford warehouse was a corrugated iron oven. Inside, 30 men were moving crates while the air shimmered with heat. Greasy George, a man whose forehead was permanently slick with perspiration, greeted them with the desperation of a drowning man. Dell, thank God. It's 90 degrees in here and the union is threatening to walk out. George wiped his face with a rag that looked like it had been used to clean an engine. Don't you worry, George, Dell said, draping an arm around him. The chairman and the managing director have arrived. Rodney, show him the brochure. Rodney reached into his briefcase and pulled out a single sheet of paper with Trotter's Turbo Chill written in felt-tip pen. These are high-output, industrial-grade circulation units, Mr. George, designed for maximum atmospheric displacement. Will they cool the place down? George asked. Cool it. Dell laughed. George, by the time we've got these beauties humming, your blokes will be asking for thermal underwear. They're that powerful. They spent the next 3 hours hauling the fans from the van into the warehouse. As Rodney plugged the first unit in, he looked at the label on the back. It was in a language that looked vaguely Cyrillic. Dell, these fans, they're from 1974, and they're marked military surplus. Even better, Rodney, Army quality, built to last. Rodney flipped the switch. There was a low, guttural growl, like a hungry wolf. Then a screech that set every tooth in the warehouse on edge. Suddenly, the fan blades began to spin with terrifying velocity. A blast of air cool, but smelling strongly of old fish and diesel erupted from the unit. See, Dell shouted over the noise. Total displacement. Greasy George looked impressed. I'll take the lot. 100 quid each? George, Dell sighed, shaking his head. For a friend, want Winnie, and that's because I like your face. They shook on it as the trotters drove away. Rodney was already doing the math in his head. 24,000 pounds, Dell. That's almost. Well, after the cost of the fans, that's a 15,000-pound profit in a single afternoon. Told you, didn't I, Rogers? Dell beamed, slapping the dashboard of the Capri. The chairman knows his onions. But then Rodney looked in the rearview mirror. A cloud of black smoke was rising from the Diptford warehouse. Dell, why is George's warehouse smoking? It's just the dust, Rodney. The fans are so powerful, they're clearing the decades of grime. It's a cleaning service as well. We should have charged him more. Chapter 16, The Legacy. They didn't go back to the warehouse. They didn't answer the phone for 3 days. Apparently, the military surplus fans had a slight design flaw where the motors would overheat if run for more than 10 minutes, and the turbochill had eventually turned into a turboflam. Fortunately, Greasy George had managed to douse the small fires with a fire extinguisher before any real damage was done. But the deal was definitely off. At least we got the deposit, Dell muttered, sitting on the balcony as the sun set. We had to give it back. Dell, Rodney said, standing beside him. And we had to pay for George's eyebrows to be professionally trimmed since the sparks took most of them off. They stood in silence, looking out over the flickering lights of the city. The 40,000 pounds was still in the bank, safe and sound. The Phase 2 office was currently being used by Damien to build a fortress out of cardboard boxes. You know, Rodney, Dell said, his voice soft, we're not millionaires. We're probably never going to be millionaires again. Not the real kind, anyway. I know, Dell. But look at us. We've got the flat. We've got the family. We've even got a managing director who knows how to use a stapler. Dell looked at his brother and smiled. We're the luckiest blokes in Peckham. Rodney looked at the yellow van parked in the lot below. It looked small and battered, but it was there. Yeah, I suppose we are. But listen, Dell said, his eyes beginning to sparkle again. I was talking to a bloke in the pub today. He's got a connection in Singapore. Apparently, there's a surplus of slightly mislabeled, but perfectly edible, canned ham. With Christmas coming up, we could. Dell! No, listen, it's a gold mine. Rodney, This time next year. The argument faded into the night air, a familiar melody that had echoed through the halls of Nelson Mandela House for decades. The millions might have come and gone, and the deals might have sizzled out, but as long as the sun rose over Peckham, the trotters would be there trading, laughing, and dreaming of the next big win. Chapter 17, The Singapore Sling Ham. The mislabeled canned ham arrived in a series of dented crates that smelled faintly of salt air and something Dell insisted was exotic spice. It was a cold Tuesday morning in Peckham, and the living room of Nelson Mandela House had once again been transformed into a temporary warehouse. "Look at the branding, Rodney," Dell exclaimed, holding up a tin with a label that depicted a very confused-looking pig wearing a straw hat. "Singapore Sling Ham. It sounds sophisticated. It sounds international." Rodney, squinting through his glasses, leaned in to read the fine print. "Dell, it says may contain traces of primate. What does that even mean?" "It means it's high in protein, Rogers. It's for the fitness crowd. And look at the expiration date. It's in a lunar calendar format. It's practically timeless." Rodney sighed, his managing director instinct screaming for a health inspection. "We can't sell this. Dell, if a client, and I use that term loosely, eats this and starts swinging from the chandeliers, we'll be back in court before the first course is finished." "Don't be so cynical," Dell chided, already reaching for his sheepskin coat. "I've got a meeting with Sid at the Nag's Head. He's looking for something unique for the Christmas buffet. This ham is exactly what he needs. It's a talking point." As Dell headed out, briefcase in hand, Rodney remained in the mahogany desk cramped room, staring at the crates. He decided to do some market research, which involved opening a tin. The contents were a strange, shimmering pink, and it wiggled in a way that defied the laws of physics. "Traces of primate," Rodney muttered, poking it with a pencil. "More like traces of an alien life form." Chapter 18, The Buffet Blitz. The Nag's Head was decked out in its Christmas finest, which meant a few strands of tinsel that had lost their sparkle in 1982 and a plastic mistletoe hanging dangerously over the dartboard. "I'm telling you, Sid, it's a delicacy," Dell shouted over the noise of a nearby fruit machine. "In Singapore, people queue for blocks to get a taste of this. It's the sling that makes it. It's got a kick." Sid, looking as skeptical as ever, poked a slice of the ham that Dell had brought as a sample. "It looks like it's trying to move. Dell, and why is it glowing under the bar lights?" "That's the vitamins, Sid. It's bioluminescent. It helps you find your way home after a few pints. Think of the safety benefits." Trigger, who had been listening from the bar, leaned over. "I had a cousin who went to Singapore once. He said the ham there was very lively." "See?" Dell pointed at Trigger. "Lively. That's exactly the word I was looking for. It's a festive ham, Sid." a ham with personality. Against his better judgment, and possibly lured by the incredibly low price Dell was offering, Sid agreed to buy 10 crates for the Nag's Head Christmas party. The party arrived 2 days later. The pub was packed with Peckham's finest. Boyke was there, showing off a new gold watch that Dell suspected was actually a repackaged version of his own stock. Marlene was laughing at Denzel's attempts to dance to Last Christmas. The buffet was unveiled. The Singapore sling ham sat at the center, carved into thick, shimmering slices. "Try the ham, everyone," Sid shouted, looking a bit nervous. "It's exotic." Boyke was the first to take a bite. He chewed slowly, his expression shifting from curiosity to profound confusion. "It has a distinctive texture, doesn't it? Very chewy, almost muscular." "It's the primate traces." "Boyke," Dell whispered, leaning in with a wink, "gives you the strength of a silverback. You'll be bench pressing the Capri by morning." For the first hour, the ham was a hit. People loved the glow-in-the-dark aesthetic. But then, as the evening wore on, a strange phenomenon began to occur. Denzel, who had eaten 3 slices, suddenly developed an uncontrollable urge to climb the bar's shelving unit. "Denzel, get down from there," Sid yelled. "You're knocking the optics over." "I can't help it, Sid," Denzel replied, his eyes wide. "I just feel agile." Chapter 19, The Monkey Business Conclusion. The Nag's Head Christmas party ended prematurely when Trigger started communicating in a series of complex hoots and hollers, and Marlene found a group of locals trying to swing from the tinsel. "Dell, take your ham and get out," Sid screamed, handing back the remaining crates. "I don't care about the vitamins. I want my pub back to normal." The return to Nelson Mandela House was a somber one. The van was once again filled with crates of lively ham. "Well," Dell sighed, sitting at the kitchen table, "I suppose we could try the pet shop market. High-protein treats for athletic dogs." "Dell," Rodney said, looking exhausted, "we are out of the ham business. We are out of the fan business. We are currently just in the waiting for the check business." Dell looked at the crates and then at Rodney. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a single tin. "You know, Rodney, I actually tried a bit of it myself earlier. Aside from a sudden interest in bananas, I feel great." Raquel walked in, carrying a tray of tea. "Dell, have you seen Damien? He's in his room, but he's managed to build a very impressive rope bridge across the hallway using his bed sheets." Dell and Rodney exchanged a look. 3 for E. "Maybe we should hide the ham, Dell," Rodney whispered. "Yeah," Dell agreed. "Good idea." As they sat in the quiet of the flat, the reality of their phase 2 began to set in. They weren't millionaires, and their business ventures were currently bordering on the hallucinogenic. But as Dell poured a cognac and Rodney adjusted his executive swivel chair, there was a sense of contentment. "You know, Rodney," Dell said, looking at the flickering lights of Peckham, "We may not have the 6 million, but we've got stories. And in this life, stories are the only thing that don't go bankrupt." True, Dell, true. But listen, Dell leaned in, his eyes sparking with that eternal flame of the trader. "I was reading the paper. Apparently, there's a massive shortage of left-handed screwdrivers in the North. If we could find a supplier." Dell! "No, listen, this time next year." The laugh that followed echoed through the flat, a sound of resilience, brotherhood, and the unbreakable spirit of the Trotters. The odyssey continued, one deal at a time. Bon mot. The yellow van might be old, and the engine might cough, but as long as there's a road ahead and a deal to be made, the Trotters will always be driving, because they're not just traders, they're survivors. And in the heart of Peckham, that's the greatest fortune of all. The Peckham Phoenix, a novelization of the Trotter Chronicles. Chapter 1, The Yellow Ghost of Peckham. The yellow three-wheeled Reliant Regal then rattled through the streets of Peckham like a skeletal remains of a decade everyone else had tried to forget. On its side, the faded lettering still defiantly proclaimed, "Trotters Independent Traders, New York, Paris, Peckham." It was a lie, of course. They had been to Paris briefly. They had never been to New York, and Peckham was currently trying its best to pretend they didn't exist. Derek Delboy Trotter sat behind the wheel, his rings catching the stray glints of a London sun that looked like it had been filtered through a greasy chip wrapper. He was humming the theme tune to his own life, a melody of seasons changing and tides turning. "I'll fetch the suitcase from the van," he muttered to himself, a mantra of the perpetual salesman. Beside him sat Rodney. Rodney, the graduate with 2 GCs and a brain that was currently a chaotic blender of existential dread and marital anxiety. Rodney was looking at the dashboard as if it were a ticking bomb. "What's up with you, Rodney?" Dell asked, his voice a gravelly mix of concern and irritation. "You look like a man who's just found out his lottery ticket was for last week's draw." "I'm a bit nervous, Dell," Rodney admitted, his voice cracking slightly. "This bloke we're going to see, this Justin, he's a documentary maker, right? He's not going to be asking me anything personal about my private life." Dell swung the van around a corner with the grace of a shopping trolley in a hurricane. "Of course he ain't. We're not that private, are we? We're public figures, the Trotters of Nelson Mandela House. But what about, you know, me and Cassandra, our hiccups?" Dell rolled his eyes. "He's not going to want to know about your little problems in the bedroom department, Rodney. Though, strictly speaking, if you're having hiccups in the bedroom, you're probably doing it wrong." "I told you that in confidence," Rodney hissed, his face reddening to the color of a ripe tomato. "And I'm keeping it in confidence," Dell shouted back. I'm not going to be telling him about jiffins and what Cassandra wears. I've got more class than that. Mostly. Chapter 2. The Interrogator. Justin was the kind of man who wore spectacles not because he needed them, but because they made his expensive degree look even more expensive. His office was a minimalist vacuum of white walls and overpriced Scandinavian furniture. He looked at the Trotter brothers as if they were a rare species of beetle that had accidentally crawled onto his silk tie. "Sorry to keep you waiting," Justin said, his voice dripping with the practiced sincerity of a BBC middle manager. "It's been a particularly busy morning. Now, I've got all the basic details about your business career, the watches, the bottled water, the pre-war lead soldiers. But what I'd like to do is to get an insight into the real you." Dell leaned back, crossing his legs and adjusting his tie. He felt at home. Give Del Boy an audience and a chance to rewrite history, and he was more dangerous than a shark in a tuxedo. How you started, how you became so successful, Justin continued, leaning forward. But more importantly, your lives and your raison d'etre. Dell blinked. "Oh, no. Laboratory Garney. I don't use that stuff. It's all natural. This hair." Rodney groaned into his hands. "He means reason for being. Dell." "I knew that." Dell snapped. "I was just checking if he did." "Right then, Justin. Where shall I start? Up to a few years ago, we were just very ordinary people living very ordinary lives. Weren't we, Rodney?" Rodney gave a hollow laugh. "Ordinary. Dell, our childhood involved hiding from the rent collector behind a sofa that was technically also being repossessed. Details, details." Dell waved a hand dismissively. "And then, as you know, one day I discovered an historic and almost priceless artifact. A watch. A Harrison Lesser watch. Found it in the back of a garage. It was like a sign from the gods of commerce." Chapter 3. The Golden Age. For a brief, shimmering moment in the mid-90s, the Trotters had been kings. The novel of their lives had transitioned from a gritty social drama to a glossy jet-set thriller. Anyway, Dell continued, his eyes glazing over with the memory of pure, unadulterated wealth. "At first, we didn't know what to do with it. We thought about donating it to the British Museum as a national treasure. We really did. We felt a sense of duty to the crown. We thought about it for exactly 3 seconds," Rodney corrected. "And then we decided to flog it." Dell grinned. £6.5 million. Justin, can you imagine that? 6.5 million of the Queen's finest nuggets. We divvied the dosh up, making sure our Uncle Albert got a nice little drink, bless his old seafaring soul, and we thought of others. We donated to charity. Enormously, of course. We bought a round of drinks for the whole Mag's Head, Rodney whispered. That was our charity work. It felt like a charity, Dell insisted. Have you seen the state of Trigger? He needs all the help he can get. So, eventually, we had to start thinking about our future. We sought out a city stockbroker, a man with a tie thinner than a strand of spaghetti and a brain like a calculator. He advised us to invest in a new and vibrant venture, a Central American market. Dell stood up, pacing the small office. It was attracting massive funds from all over the world. We were making more money than the Royal Mint. We weren't just flat. Justin, we were ascendant. Chapter 4, The Fall of the Empire. The flashback in Dole's mind was vivid. He remembered the heat of the Caribbean, the smell of expensive sun cream, and the feeling of a platinum credit card in his pocket, a card that felt like it had the power to stop the rotation of the earth if he swiped it hard enough. He remembered Raquel, his significant other, looking like a movie star in a wide-brimmed hat. He remembered young Damien, the fruit of his loins, playing on the deck of a yacht. He remembered Rodney and Cassandra, looking like they finally belonged in a world where the wine didn't come from a box. And then the music changed. It wasn't a sudden explosion. It was the sound of a phone not ringing. It was the sight of a computer screen flickering with red numbers that shouldn't have been there. She's into superstitions. The radio had been playing in the hotel lobby. Livin' La Vida Loca. It turned out, Dell said, his voice dropping an octave, that negotiations between the Central American countries had collapsed, wiped out. The market didn't just crash. It evaporated. It was like someone had pulled the plug on the ocean. We'd even paid for the hotel on a credit card. Rodney added, the ghost of the trauma still visible in his eyes. A credit card which was withdrawn while we were still at the breakfast buffet. I was halfway through a bowl of exotic fruit, and suddenly I was an international pauper. Dell nodded solemnly, but Derek Trotter is, if nothing else, a creative businessman. I came up with a solution. We had to leave. Fast. We ran, Rodney said. We literally ran for the airport while the concierge was still looking for the bill. Chapter 5, The Financial Wilderness. The return to the UK was not met with a ticker-tape parade. The news of the Trotter collapse had traveled faster than a Peckham rumor. How long did it take for the news to hit the UK? Justin asked, scribbling notes furiously. About as long as it took for someone to push a button on the internet, Dell sighed. Suddenly, all our so-called business associates wouldn't return our calls. We were cast into a financial wilderness. It was like the desert, but with more rain and less sand. And then there was Mike. Rodney reminded him. Dole's face darkened. Mike Fisher, the landlord of the Nag's Head, a man who had seen the Trotters as his ticket out of the pub trade. Mike invested his life savings in our venture, Dell explained. He actually remortgaged the pub. He's in prison now, awaiting trial. The fraud squad claims he tried to recoup his losses by embezzling the brewery. Never was a man more innocent. He confessed to everything Dell, Rodney pointed out. He was under duress. Dell shouted, "The pressure of the brewing industry is immense." The narrative shifted to the waiting room of the court. The atmosphere was thick with the smell of cheap coffee and the nervous sweat of Peckham's finest. Denzil was pacing, wearing the marble floor down. Uncle Albert was sitting there, looking like a weary old owl. Trigger was. Well, Trigger was staring at a wall, possibly having a conversation with his own shadow. "Trig, if I go in there and tell the truth," Denzil had said, "Dell and Rodney are going to be spending the next 5 years sharpening Jeffrey Archer's pencils. I'm going to tell them I hear voices." Trigger had replied, with the terrifying sincerity of the truly confused. Chapter 6, The Wrong Side of the Grave. The funeral of Uncle Albert should have been a moment of dignified sorrow. Instead, it was a master class in Trotter-esque absurdity. The family stood in the biting cold of a coastal cemetery. Dell was genuinely heartbroken. Albert had been their anchor, the man who had survived the Battle of the Baltic only to be nearly killed by those cooking. "I feel bad," Dell whispered to Rodney as they stood by the grave, "leaving him here on his own while we were off globe-trotting. We should have taken him to Barbados. He didn't have a passport, Dell," Rodney reminded him. "He thought the Germans were still looking for him." They stood amongst a group of strangers. A woman named Marion was crying. A man named Roland was complaining about Albert's wartime sagas. "God, he did go on, didn't he?" Roland sneered. "Never bloody stopped. The John Wayne of the East End." Those blood began to simmer. It reached boiling point. He stepped forward, his eyes blazing. "You got to remember that a lot of blokes lost their lives for our liberty, just so that 50 years later, prats like you would have the freedom to knock them. You want to go outside and have a chat, Roland?" "Calm down, Dell," Rodney pleaded. It was only when the young boy, Damien, looked up at a passing plane and asked if it was a Spitfire that the reality hit them. "Wait a minute," Dell said, looking at the headstone. "Bunny. Why did you call him Bunny?" "Because his surname was Warren," Roland said. "Albert Warren. Raff." The silence that followed was heavy. "Rodney," Dell whispered, his face turning ashen, "we're at the wrong funeral." "Oh, let's go," Rodney hissed, grabbing Dell's arm. They fled the cemetery like grave robbers who had forgotten their shovels. Chapter 7, The Phoenix Arises, sort of. Back in Nelson Mandela House, the grandeur of the millionaire years felt like a dream someone else had had. The flat was cramped, the wallpaper was peeling, and the Inland Revenue was knocking on the door with the persistence of a woodpecker on a metal pole. "The court declared me bankrupt," Dell announced to the family. "But don't worry. I've worked it all out. I'm a trader. I could sell rice to the Chinese. The firm's been liquidized, Dell," Rodney said, sitting at the kitchen table. Disqualified. Dell corrected. I've been disqualified from running it. That doesn't mean the company is dead. We just need a new managing director. Someone young. Someone enthusiastic. Someone with to GCEs. Rodney looked up, a glimmer of hope or madness in his eyes. Me? Yes, you, Rodney. You can take over Trotter's independent traders. Legally, there's nothing to stop you. You're clean, mostly. And so, the new era began. Rodney Trotter, managing director, still took a back seat, or rather, he sat in the front seat and shouted directions while Rodney tried to drive. They were back in business. They were trading again. The goal, 48,750 for pounds. That was the debt. That was the mountain they had to climb. Chapter 8, The Golden Ticket. The idea for Gold Rush came to Dell like a divine revelation during a late-night session of channel hopping. It's a game show. Rodney, Dell shouted, bursting into the living room. Jonathan Ross, you can win 100,000 quid. It's the fastest game show on TV. Dell, you think King Edward introduced the potato to England? Rodney said flatly. I didn't hear the question properly. Dell insisted. I've worked it out. I'm going to apply. This time next year, we'll be millionaires. Again. This time last week, we were millionaires, Cassandra pointed out from the kitchen. But Dell was already filling out the form. He wasn't just a bankrupt salesman from Peckham anymore. In his mind, he was a Renaissance man, a lover of fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian art. He was Derek Trotter, and the world hadn't seen the last of him. Chapter 9, The Brunei Connection. The telephone in the Trotter household was a fickle instrument. Sometimes it brought news of a consignment of hooky V. Sears. Other times, it was just the electric company wondering if Dell intended to pay his bill within the current century. One evening, as Rodney was trying to maintain a facade of managing director gravitas, the phone rang. Trotter's independent traders, how may I help you? Rodney said, his voice an octave deeper than usual. Good evening, a voice responded, accented and dripping with importance. I am wishing to speak with managing director. This is he, Rodney said, puffing out his chest. My name is Rodney Trotter. I am representative of the Sultan of Brunei, the voice continued. Rodney's heart did a little tap dance against his ribs. He looked at Dell, who was currently trying to clean a fake Rolex with a bit of spit and a rag. Dell, it's the Sultan of Brunei. Dell stopped rubbing the watch. Yeah, and I'm the Pope's golf partner. Give it here. But Rodney was already hooked. How may I be of assistance, sir? His Highness has seen your advertisement in the newspaper. He would like you to fly to Brunei and be his consultant. Rodney's eyes glazed over. He could see it now. Gold-plated yachts, silk robes, and a world where duty-free wasn't just a suggestion. Consultant. On what, specifically? Recently, the voice said, suppressed laughter starting to bubble through the accent, His Highness bought a crappy old three-wheeled van, and he wants to know how to start it on cold mornings. The line exploded into the unmistakable, high-pitched cackle of Mickey Pierce. Rodney slammed the phone down. I knew it was him. I was just winding him up. Dell shook his head. Rodney, you're about as good at winding people up as a sundial in a coal cellar. Get back to your paperwork. Chapter 10, Fantasy Therapy. Rodney's marriage to Cassandra was, in his own words, a series of minor hiccups in the bedroom department. To address this, Rodney had turned to the modern equivalent of a witch doctor, a lifestyle magazine. It's called Fantasy Therapy. Cass, Rodney explained that night, his voice hushed. This expert in America says our troubles stem from memory baggage. We need to become different people, reborn. Cassandra looked at him over the top of her book. Different people. Do I get to be someone who lives in a house without a yellow vent parked outside? No, it's about iconoclastic autosuggestion. Rodney insisted. We write down our fantasy figure, and for one night, the other person becomes that figure. No dressing up required. It's all in the mind. All right, Cassandra sighed. I'll try anything to stop you talking about memory baggage. They wrote down their choices. Cassandra handed her slip to Rodney. He opened it and blinked. The bill. You want me to be a copper? Just a position of authority, Rodney, she said, a mischief glint in her eye. Rodney's own fantasy involved a certain gladiator, or maybe a heroic figure from a film he'd seen recently. He didn't say it, but he had a plan. The next evening, the plan went horribly wrong. Dell burst into the flat to find Cassandra dressed in a full policewoman's uniform, complete with a baton and a look of professional disapproval. Rodney, on the other hand, was standing there in a leather tunic, looking like he'd been rejected from a low-budget production of Spartacus. Oh, my God! Dell shouted, nearly dropping his bag of takeaway. I thought we were being raided. Cassandra, I didn't know you'd join the force. And Rodney, what are you? A Roman centurion with a vitamin D deficiency. It's a fancy dress party. Dell, Rodney yelled, his face turning a shade of purple that matched his tunic. We're going to a party. My ex-boss at the bank invited us. At 5:30, Dell asked, skeptical, a bit early for a rave, isn't it? It's an early party for people who have to be up for work. Rodney grabbed Cassandra's arm. Come on, Reg Hollis. Let's go before he starts asking for our badges. Chapter 11, The Lights of Gold Rush. The BBC television studios were a labyrinth of cables, tired security guards, and the smell of industrial-grade hairspray. Dell stood in the wings of the Gold Rush set, adjusting his suit. He told the producers he was a connoisseur of the arts. He told them his hobbies included fine wines and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. In reality, his knowledge of fine wine stopped at anything that didn't have a screw top, and the only Renaissance art he owned was a framed picture of a crying boy that he'd bought at a car boot sale in 1984. Welcome to another edition of the show that is taking the country by storm. The voice of Jonathan Ross boomed through the speakers. This is Thursday. This is live. This is Jonathan Ross, and this is Gold Rush. Del stepped onto the stage, his smile fixed, his rings gleaming under the studio lights. Beside him were his competitors, Mike Wallace, a financial advisor who looked like he'd swallowed a lemon, and Janice Scott, who seemed genuinely terrified of the cameras. And finally, Ross announced, "We have Derek Trotter from Peckham." Derek is a businessman who lives with Raquel, his significant other. His pastimes include fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. Del gave a thumbs up. Lovely jubbly. Jonathan, just happy to be here for the culture. You know. Chapter 12, The Rainbow Road. The game began with a flurry of questions. Del's finger was poised over the buzzer like a predator waiting for a slow-moving gazelle. Whose famous diary recorded the plague and the Great Fire of London? Ross asked. Del hit the buzzer. Mrs. Dale's. The studio went silent. Ross blinked. Nice try, Del, but I'm afraid that's not right. You're frozen now. Eventually, through a series of fluke errors by his opponents, Del found himself as the first challenger on the Rainbow Road. He stood in the center of the stage, a 1-pound coin clutched in his hand, his guaranteed prize. Whatever else happens, that's yours, Ross said. Just make sure it ain't Irish, eh? Del quipped, winking at the camera. He breezed through the early rounds. He knew Kilimanjaro was in Africa mostly because he'd once tried to sell a crate of T-shirts with the mountain printed on the wrong side. He survived a challenge from Janice. The money climbed. 10,000, 25,000. And then the green question. In which state was President Kennedy born? Del hesitated. He remembered the news footage. He remembered the tragedy. Well, when he was assassinated in 1963, he was in a terrible state. He died. I need the name of the state. Del, Ross urged. Texas, Florida, or California? Del sweated. He used his shot in the dark. Florida, he shouted. No, Ross sighed. It was Texas. But you played your shot, so you're still in the game for the penalty question. Chapter 13, The Ravel Debacle. The penalty question was worth 50,000 pounds. If Del got it right, he'd move to the final gold question for 100,000. Which classical guitarist wrote the opera The Child and the Enchantment? Was it Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Del's brain stalled. Classical music. He was a man of the people. He liked the theme from Z Cars and anything by Tom Jones. He needed his SOS. He needed his brother. My brother, Rodney, Dell said, he's a graduate to GCEs. He knows his classics. Back in the flat, the phone rang. Rodney, still in his Spartacus tunic, answered it. Hello, Rodney. It's Jonathan Ross. Oh, piss off, Mickey, you're getting on my tits now, Rodney yelled. Rodney, it's not Mickey, it's the BBC. Your brother is on 50 grand. Realization hit Rodney like a bucket of cold water. He listened to the question. Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Ravel. Rodney shouted into the phone. I'm 100% sure, Dell, it's Ravel. Dell, back in the studio, looked at the camera with the confidence of a man who had just been handed the keys to the Bank of England. It's Ravel, Jonathan. My brother knows. He's got the brains in the family. Are you sure, Derek? Ross asked. You don't have to take his answer. No. Rodney's spot on. Ravel. The buzzer sounded a long, agonizing drone of failure. Derek, Ross said, his voice filled with genuine pity. That was the wrong answer. It was Segovia. Dell's face fell. The 100,000 pounds vanished into the ether. What? But Rodney said he's got to GCEs. Chapter 14, The Return of the Conqueror Not. The journey back to Peckham was long and silent. Dell walked through the door of the flat to find Rodney and Cassandra waiting, still dressed as a gladiator and a policewoman. What happened? Rodney asked, his voice small. What happened? Dell exploded. What happened is that you're a dipstick, Rodney. That's what happened. Everyone knows that Ravel makes shoes. It was a trick question, and you fell for it. Shoes? Rodney stammered. Ravel wrote Bolero. I don't care if he wrote the Bible. He makes shoes in the Peckham High Street. You lost us 50 grand. The argument raged until the phone rang again. It was the producer of Gold Rush. Hello. Yes, this is Derek Trotter. What? No. Really. Dell turned to the room, his eyes wide. There's been a mistake. The producer says it was Ravel. Segovia was just the guitarist who performed it or something. They've checked the facts. I can have the 50,000 pounds and come back on the show next week. The room erupted. Rodney cheered. Raquel cried. Even Cassandra hugged her prisoner. See, Dell shouted, his voice reaching a crescendo of triumph. I knew I was right. I knew the Trotters were back. He grabbed the phone again. Yeah. Well, I tell you what we're going to do. Give all the money to charity. Yeah. And if you phone here once again, I'm going to come down there and kick your arse into shredded duck. He slammed the phone down. Dell, Rodney screamed. What did you do that for? Because, Dell said, a sly grin spreading across his face, that wasn't the producer. I could hear the jukebox at the Nag's Head. That was Mickey Pierce again. He sat down, exhausted but undefeated. Don't worry, Rodney. This time next year, we'll be millionaires. And in the heart of Peckham, for the 1,000th time, they almost believed him. Chapter 15, The Morning After the Morning After. The following morning, Nelson Mandela House felt like the setting of a hungover Greek tragedy. The adrenaline of the gold rush debacle had dissipated, leaving only the cold reality of the Inland Revenue's interest rates and the lingering smell of Raquel's burnt toast. Dell sat at the kitchen table, nursing a cup of tea that was mostly condensed milk and desperation. He was staring at a pile of bills as if he could intimidate them into paying themselves. Rodney, Dell barked as his brother shuffled into the kitchen, looking like a man who had spent the night sleeping in a tumble dryer. Where is the inventory for the new stock? Rodney groaned, rubbing his eyes. Dell, it's 8 in the morning, and technically, since I'm the managing director, shouldn't I be asking you for that? Dell let out a short, sharp laugh. Managing director. Rodney, you're the only managing director in London who still gets an allowance from his older brother. Now, where is it? It's in the van. Rodney sighed. But it's mostly those unbreakable umbrellas we bought from Boyke. I tried one this morning. It snapped the second a light breeze hit it. Dell didn't look up. That's because you don't know the technique. Rodney, you have to open them with finesse. They're not umbrellas. They're aerodynamic sunshades. It's all in the marketing. Raquel entered, Damien trailing behind her. The boy was wearing a t-shirt that said Future Millionaire, a gift from Dell that currently felt like a cruel joke. Dell, we've had another letter from the council, Raquel said, her voice weary. They're asking about the arrears again. Dell stood up, smoothing his waistcoat. Don't you worry about the council. Sweetheart, I've got a meeting this afternoon with a very influential business associate. Top-level stuff. Is it Trigger? Rodney asked, deadpan. Dell paused, his hand on the door handle. He might be in the vicinity. Yes, but that's irrelevant. We are the Trotters. We've been down before, but we always bounce back. Like those rubber balls that never stop. They're called super balls. Dell, Rodney corrected. And eventually, they hit someone in the eye and get confiscated. Chapter 16, The Nag's Head Resurrection. The Nag's Head was the spiritual home of the Trotter Empire, a place where legends were told and where beer was served at a temperature that could only be described as room adjacent. As Dell and Rodney walked in, a hush fell over the bar. It was the kind of silence usually reserved for a funeral or a surprise inspection by the health department. Trigger was at his usual spot, looking as if he hadn't moved since the mid-70s. Denzel was nursing a half-pint, and Sid was behind the bar, polishing a glass that looked like it had been used to store gravel. All right, Dave, Trigger said, nodding at Rodney. It's Rodney, Trig, Rodney's side, for the 10,000th time. Heard about the show, Dell, Sid said, leaning over the bar. Me and the wife were watching. She said she liked your suit, said it made you look like a very successful magician. Dell ignored the barb. It's all part of the game. Sid, high stakes, high rewards. We were testing the waters, weren't we, Rodney? I was testing the limits of human embarrassment, Rodney muttered. Don't listen to him, Dell said, ordering a large cognac. He's got executive stress. Now, Denzel, I hear you've been having trouble with Yurvin's suspension. Denzel looked up, wary. How do you know that? I have my sources, Dell said, leaning in. And it just so happens that Trotter's independent traders under the new and vibrant leadership of Rodney here has just acquired a consignment of high-performance shock absorbers. Straight from Germany. Germany? Denzel asked, or a garage in Lewisham. Dell looked hurt. Denzel, would I lie to you? They're military grade, built to withstand a direct hit from a tank. Your van will feel like a magic carpet. How much? Denzel asked, his curiosity getting the better of his common sense. For you, a mere £100, plus a small administration fee for the managing director. Dell nudged Rodney. Tell him, Rodney, tell him about the quality. Rodney looked at Denzel, then at Dell, then at his beer. They're round, and they've got springs, I think. See? Dell beamed. The man's a genius. Right, let's seal the deal. Sid, a round for my friends. On Rodney's tab. Chapter 17, The Suitcase in the Van. The sun was beginning to set over Peckham, casting long, orange shadows over the estate. Dell and Rodney were back at the van, the shock absorbers, which looked suspiciously like painted PVC pipes, safely stowed in the back. Dell reached into the van and pulled out a battered leather suitcase. He handled it with a reverence usually reserved for religious relics. This is it, Rodney, Dell said, his voice dropping to a whisper, the beginning of the comeback. Dell, it's a suitcase, Rodney said. What's in it? More umbrellas. Dell popped the latches. Inside were hundreds of small, plastic devices that looked like a cross between a calculator and a remote control. Electronic personal organizers, Dell announced. The future of business, Rodney. Every man in London is going to want one. It's got a clock, a calendar, and a button that makes a beeping noise. Dell, everyone has these on their phones now. Rodney said, holding one up. It's 2002. This technology is practically prehistoric. Dell shook his head, a look of pity on his face. That's where you're wrong, Rodney. People miss the tactile experience. They want something they can hold, something with weight. These are vintage tech. It's the latest trend. I'm telling you, by this time next year. Rodney cut him off. We'll be millionaires. I know. Dell, I know. They stood there for a moment, to brothers in a three-wheeled van. surrounded by the debris of 100 failed schemes and the flickering hope of 1,000 more. I'll fetch the suitcase from the van, Dell repeated, a small smile playing on his lips, because where it all comes from is a mystery, Rodney. But as long as we're together, we're the bestest. Rodney looked at the suitcase, then at his brother. He let out a long, slow breath and climbed into the passenger seat. All right, Dell, drive on. But if we pass a skip, those shock absorbers are going in it. Deal? Dell laughed, turning the key. The engine coughed, spluttered, and finally roared into life. Next stop, Paris. Or maybe just the car boot sail in Sitcom. Mange tout, Rodney. Mange tout. Chapter 18, The Market's Cold Shoulder. Monday morning in Peckham Market was a sensory assault. The air was a thick soup of diesel fumes, frying onions from a nearby burger van, and the desperate cries of stallholders trying to offload items that had clearly fallen off the back of a very fast-moving truck. Rodney stood behind a makeshift table, shivering in a thin coat. He was holding one of the electronic personal organizers. He looked about as comfortable as a penguin in a sauna. Go on, Rodney. Give Em the patter, Dell urged from the safety of a nearby tea stall. Don't just stand there like a Statue of Liberty with a hangover. Sell the dream. Rodney cleared his throat. Step up, everyone. Organize your life. With this plastic thing, it has a clock, and it beeps. A woman in a tracksuit stopped and looked at the device. Does it have a camera? No, Rodney said honestly. Does it have the internet? No. What does it do then? Well, Rodney struggled. If you forget what day it is, you can press this button and it will tell you, provided you've set the date correctly, which is quite a complex process, to be honest. The woman walked away. Shaking her head, Dell stormed over, his face redder than a ripe tomato. Rodney, what are you doing? You're not selling a funeral, you're selling the future. Look, watch the master. Dell grabbed an organizer and held it aloft. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Are you tired of carrying around heavy books? Are you tired of losing your place in your diary? Introducing the Trotter 2000. It's used by astronauts. It's used by international spies. It's so secret that even the government doesn't want you to have one. A small crowd gathered. Those eyes sparkled. It's got a high-definition liquid crystal display. It's got a built-in alarm system to warn you of approaching birthdays. And for today only, because my brother here has just been made managing director and he's feeling generous, you can have it for a tenner. A tenner. A man shouted. I can get a real one for a $5 down at the pound shop. Ah, but does the pound shop one come with a lifetime guarantee from Trotter's independent traders? Dell shot back. And does it have the emergency beep function? I think not. The crowd began to disperse. Rodney sighed. Dell, it's no use. People aren't stupid. They know a piece of junk when they see one. Junk, Dell whispered, horrified. This is vintage, Rodney. It's retro. We just haven't found our target market yet. We need a specialist buyer. Like who? A museum for failed inventions. No, Dell said, a slow grin spreading across his face. I know exactly who. Boyke. Chapter 19, The Strategy Meeting. That evening, the living room of Nelson Mandela House was converted into a high-level boardroom. Rodney was sitting at the table with a notepad, trying to look professional. Raquel was in the kitchen, and the distant sound of Damien playing a video game provided a soundtrack of explosions and digital screams. Right, Rodney said, tapping his pen. Meeting of the Board of Directors. Item 1, the debt. £48,754. Item 2, assets. We have 200 broken umbrellas, 50 fake shock absorbers, and 199 electronic personal organizers. One broke when Dell sat on it. It didn't break, Dell corrected from the armchair. It just redistributed its components. It's an exploding view model. Very educational. Whatever, Rodney sighed. Dell, we need a real plan. We can't keep selling junk to the neighbors. We're going to get evicted. Dell leaned forward, his voice serious. Rodney, I've been thinking. As the managing director, you need to think big. We don't need 100 small deals. We need one huge deal. A deal that will wipe out the debt in one go. And what is this deal? Rodney asked, wary. I've been talking to a bloke called Nervous Nick. He's got a lead on a consignment of, well, it's high-tech equipment. Not more organizers? No, it's medical equipment. Laser-guided, state-of-the-art diagnostic machines. Rodney stared at him. Medical equipment. Dell, you don't know a laser from a light bulb. And where would we sell medical equipment? The private sector, Rodney. Private clinics. I've already made a few calls. I've told them we're an international consultancy specializing in healthcare procurement. You told them what? Rodney stood up, pacing. Dell, this is fraud. We're going to end up in the nick with Mike. It's not fraud. It's creative marketing. Dell shouted back. And besides, we're doing the world a favor. We're bringing down the cost of health care. We're practically saints. You're practically a lunatic, Rodney yelled. I'm the managing director, and I'm saying no. No lasers. No clinics. No Nervous Nick. The room went silent. Raquel appeared at the door, a spatula in her hand. Is everything all right in here? Everything's fine, sweetheart, Dell said, his voice dripping with fake calm. Rodney's just having a bit of executive stress. He'll be fine once he's had his tea. Rodney slumped back into his chair. I can't do this. Dell, I'm not a businessman. I'm just Rodney. Dell walked over and put a hand on his brother's shoulder. No, you're not just Rodney. You're a trotter, and trotters never give up. We'll find a way. Prove. Kushti. Chapter 20. The Ghost of Millionaires Past. Later that night, when the rest of the flat was asleep, Dell stood on the balcony, looking out over the flickering lights of Peckham. The wind was cold, but he didn't feel it. He was thinking about the yacht. He was thinking about the taste of the expensive cognac and the feeling of the sun on his face in Barbados. He missed it. He missed the respect. He missed the way people looked at him when he had money in his pocket. Now, they just looked at him with pity, or worse, they didn't look at him at all. If only Mum could see us now, he whispered to the night. He remembered the promise he'd made to her on her deathbed. He'd promised to look after Rodney. He'd promised to make something of themselves. And for a while, he'd done it. He'd reached the summit, but the fall had been long and hard. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the 1-pound coin from the Gold Rush show. He flipped it in the air and caught it. Heads, we're back in the money, he muttered. Tails. Well, tails, we just try harder. He looked at the coin. It was tails. Dell smiled. That's my boy. Always playing hard to get. He turned back into the flat, his mind already spinning with new ideas, new angles, new ways to turn the world in his favor. Because Derek Trotter wasn't just a salesman. He was a survivor. And as long as there was a deal to be made, a story to be told, and a brother to argue with, he was exactly where he belonged. Good night, Peckham, he said, closing the balcony door. Sleep well, because tomorrow the Phoenix is going to do some shopping. Chapter 21, Meeting Nervous Nick. The rendezvous point was a derelict garage in a part of Bermondsey that even the rats avoided. The air smelled of damp cardboard and secrets. Dell adjusted his camel hair coat, trying to look like a high-level procurement officer rather than a man who had just spent his last tenner on petrol. Rodney followed, his eyes darting toward every shadow. Dell, I really don't like this. Nervous Nick is called nervous for a reason, usually because he's about to be arrested. He's just high-strung, Rodney, Dell whispered. Genius often is. A man emerged from behind a stack of rusted oil drums. He was twitching so violently that his glasses were barely staying on his nose. This was Nervous Nick. You got the money? Nick stammered, his eyes scanning the empty street. I've got the backing of a major international syndicate, Nick, Dell said, patting his empty chest pocket. But first, we see the gear, the lasers. Nick led them to a crate covered in a greasy tarpaulin. With a flourish that sent his head flying, he pulled it back. Inside were rows of sleek, silver cylinders with blinking red lights. There they are, Nick whispered. Laser guided, high precision, straight from a high-tech facility in the north. Rodney leaned in, looking at a cylinder. Dell, These look like industrial barcode scanners. Shh. Dell hissed. They're diagnostic tools. Rodney. Diagnostic. Nick, how many have you got? 50 units. Take him now for $5,000, and I'll throw in the cables. Dell looked at Rodney, his eyes wide with greed. Rodney, at $5,000, that's only 100 quid a unit. We sell 'em to a private clinic for 500 each, and we've wiped out half the debt in a weekend. Dell, we haven't got $5,000. Rodney cried. We have, if we use our contingency fund, Dell said, avoiding Rodney's gaze. You mean the money Raquel was saving for Damien's school uniform? It's an investment. Rodney, Damien will have a uniform made of gold by the time we're finished. Chapter 22, The Master's Pitch. Boyke sat in his garden, a glass of expensive-looking champagne in one hand and a cigar the size of a small tree in the other.